Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I have had requests, well the requests beat me to it. I was going to do this anyway, but the requests came in thick and fast and I'd underestimated how quickly we would deliver your kits. So this is a winter kit how-to, just a bit more in-depth information on the product, who can and can't use it, most of it is everyone, but and how you would fit them into a routine, things like that. Because I recognise for a lot of you, this is the first time you've maybe bought a group of skincare like this, as it were. So there are 12 products in your kit. First of all, thank you. Thank you for buying the kit. I hope you love them. I am being tagged relentlessly and joyously on Instagram by people who say, oh my God, it turned up less than 12 hours after I ordered it. Amazing, thank you. I am thrilled that you are loving them. And I will do more kits in the new year. There's nothing else coming before Christmas. We are going to sell the bag individually. That will be online hopefully next week. I'm trying to think of all the questions I've been asked. So your routine is 12 products. I'm just going to go through the routine as I would do it. And this is the one that we're using as a giveaway. So I'm not going to open the actual product or stick my fingers in anything, but I am going to be very descriptive. I hope that helps. Starting off with cleansers. Emma Hardie cleanser. Now this is this one. I should get the boxes, shouldn't I, so you know. Looks like this. It's this cleanser. This is rich, balm, oil-based. Oh God, I love that smell. This is your, for me, this is a PM, first, second, or just second cleanse, however you want to do it. In my system, I do a morning cleanse, which is just a quick face wash, if you like. And in the evening, I do a double cleanse if I'm wearing makeup. If I'm wearing makeup and or SPF, if I'm in the house all day, I'll just wash my face really quickly and mildly with the Beauty Pie, which I'll show you in a sec. If, however, like today, I have a face full of makeup because I'm filming, I will go in with this, do fingernail size. Actually, my nails need doing because I've been so busy doing the kit, I haven't had time. A normal fingernail size, not an extended fingernail size. Kind of top, you don't need a loads. I see people doing this. No, scrape it away with your finger so that you fill a finger full of product is the best way of describing it. Take it on your fingers, apply all over your face onto dry skin. I would put Emma Hardie onto dry skin. You can use the cloth that comes with it to remove. I obviously just use my flannels. I mean, Emma Hardie sometimes ends up the next one in rotation because it's in my linen cupboard, but you can use any washcloth, face cloth, flannel, however you want to do it. It is suitable for all skin types. I would say, sorry, I just did a quick a quick makeup video on Instagram, and I think I've got lip gloss everywhere, but I'm sorry. If you have really bad acne, if you have open, active pustules, if you wash your face and it bleeds, shelve this one until it calms down and stick with the Beauty Pie. The reason being, this will be a little too aggravating for you to get off. You can add water, massage it through, and it does emulsify, but the joy of it and why I love it is that it doesn't emulsify in the way that some do, where it just washes away. You do need a cloth to get this off, and a cloth can be more irritating than just a face wash that you're splashing on what I would call active acne, and I mean proper acne, just not the odd hormonal spot. You can tell I'm the mother of a teenage girl who always has teenage girls in the house who say, look at my acne, and I'm like, you've got 2 spots. So AM or PM, mainly for me, this is my makeup remover first stage and has been for nigh on 10 years. Beauty Pie Japanfusion, pure transforming cleanser, gentle and traceless, perfect makeup cleansing. Now, this is also a makeup remover. However, I put it in the box for 2 reasons. 1, I prefer it in the morning. And 2, it is perfect and lighter for the days where you're not wearing a lot of makeup and actually you might want to save this. You'll find that this is one of those products that you're like, I'm just going to save that. I try not to encourage people to save product because you don't want it to go off and you're not going to get the full benefit. So when people say, oh, I've got a really expensive serum, but I don't use it because I can't really afford it to buy it again, I just think you're better off using it in quick succession and getting the benefits from it than using it once a week and it not really doing much. Does that make sense? So this is my first cleanse in the evening. This is my morning cleanse and or second cleanse in the evening if I am doing a double cleanse. If it's a lazy Sunday, I might just wash my face with this in the evening. And I'm talking about, obviously I use a multitude of other products. What I'm giving you is how I would use it if I was only using these 12. I hope that's clear. I'm not saying I only ever use these 2. I have my own cleanser as well, for God's sake, with Pixie. So this is just how I would use them in this routine. But I love this, and everyone who I've recommended this to loves it too. So there's a lot of love for this cleanser. This is suitable for all skin types. Both are suitable for pregnancy and breastfeeding and people using retinol, things like that. Like I say, I will try and stay on the questions and in the comment section afterwards. If you do have questions that I miss, just let me know. Kate Somerville Liquid Exfolikate Triple Acid Resurfacing Treatment. This gets pumped onto a cotton pad and wiped all over the face. Now, this is designed to be used in the evenings. So I'm showing it here after cleansing because that's where you would use it in your routine, whether that's AM or PM. This is designed for evening use. So you will not use this the same evenings you are using these. So I tend to use my acids in the morning because I use a retinol in the evening. You don't have to do that. You might want to use this a couple of times a week in the evening if you're giving your retinol a break, which I will come to. But you're not going to use these together. Although this says PM and it technically goes after cleansing, you don't use it before this in this routine. Again, I'm being very specific. I would use this over this to start if your skin still feels like it needs exfoliating, if your skin looks dull, if your skin feels bumpy, if you're not happy with the texture. In a weird way, this will last a long time. This is acids. Acids will be here when we're all gone. This will last you a good time. So this will do you a good time. This is not what I'm trying to say. This is not going to go off in 2 weeks. So what I would do if it was me and I hadn't used them before is I would prep my skin with this for a couple of weeks in the evening. When I felt my skin was really smooth to the touch and felt softer, always the traffic. Welcome to central London. Then I would put this to one side for a bit and pick up the retinol. So again, I'll come to that in a minute. So the only people who can't really use this are people with really sensitive skin. You might find it's too much. I'm just making sure that there's nothing. No, it doesn't. All it says is to obviously have the reminder to use SPF, which is obvious. I am not a person who's going to make you afraid of using an acid. You can all use this. If you have rosacea, use it on your forehead and use it around here. Use it down your nose. You would avoid the cheek because you don't really want to aggravate it. But equally, a rosacea skin is hard to exfoliate. So it was something you might want to work towards. Don't do it straight away. It'd be far too much. I'm not endorsing it. I'm just saying keep it maybe on the outskirts. Do the ring of the pie. But yeah, this is good for prepping your skin for everything else that's in the kit. Josh Rosebrook, Hydrating Accelerator. Now this is probably the easiest product to use of all. This is a mist. This is your inky list. It is comprehensive. This is hydrating, soothing. It's a moisturizer in a spray. So if you've bought the kit and you live in a hot climate, for example, you might find that you could do a spray of this over some Hydraluron and it's fine. And I will write down some rough bits underneath, but this with a bit of this on top, they kind of work really well together. That's another way of looking at it. However, this can also be used throughout the day on top of your makeup. This is the no-brainer. When in doubt, if you feel a little bit, have a spray. Beautiful product. Eye cream, easy. All skin types, as is the Josh Rosebrook. Ultimate eye cream. This, now, they say, gently pat, small amount around the eye, AM and PM. They, it must have been the one I was trialing. I was trialing an eye cream recently that said do like a full pump, and I was like, God, that's enough for a week. Always with eye cream, start with less. So do a half a pump. Everyone says to do it on your ring finger. I always put my eye cream on sort of here across the three. Do this and then just place it on the skin. The reason they say to use your ring finger is because there's less pressure and the area is delicate. It's all a much of a muchness, people. As long as you're not doing this and really hammering it home, you're absolutely fine. And actually it places it in a much more gentle fashion if you put it on the tips of your fingertips and just press, and then you're good to go. You can take this all around the lid. It is suitable for all types of skin and all skin conditions. Cannot go wrong. Eye cream comes before serum and before moisturizer in my routines. I see lots of people doing these kind of evening routines on Bazaar and Vogue and things like that, and they put all of their creams on. They do their big heavy cream and then they put an eye cream on. Literally no point. Like I say in the blog, and I have said on the blog for about 10 years, that is like wearing your bra on top of your raincoat. Let's do the 3 serums so I can give you some who would use them and when. Hydraluron first. Hydraluron is hyaluronic acid. You are going to use this underneath your moisturizers. If it was me, I would put this on the skin on top of the other serums, especially on top of the Alpha H, which I'll talk about in a sec. This should be your first port of call if you are dehydrated, which most of us are, dry, if you find your makeup doesn't sit very well and the pigment, your makeup dries on the face and you're left with patchiness, that's because the water takes your skin takes the hydration from your foundation and leaves you with the pigment. So you go patchy. If that happens to you, then you're going to be wanting to use these on heavy rotation. So Hydraluron is hyaluronic acid, suitable for all skin types, all ages, all skin conditions. You won't have a problem, I can't say that, but you should not have a problem with this product. Alpha H, vitamin B. Now I picked this because it's just a much underexposed, not championed enough. I can't, it's just a great anti-aging, and I use that term appropriately, anti-aging, antioxidant, supportive serum. Let's see what they say. Handwriting, honestly, the writing. A potent anti-aging vitamin serum fortified with niacinamide and copper tripeptide to take on daily environmental elements. So apply 2 to 3 drops each morning and or evening to a cleansed face, neck and décolleté. Now I would use this in the morning because I've got my retinols for the evening. You would do cleanse, literally cleanse. You can use this if you want to. You don't have to. You could go straight in with this if you wanted to. It's entirely up to you, how much time you have, what your main concerns are. If you're leaving the home and going to work and you are going to be out in the aggressors, as it were, air conditioning, public transport, driving, anything like that, I would use this in the morning. It's one of those things that you use, like I said in the first video, you use it and you think, why wasn't I using this before? What is going on? It's a great powerhouse product. This is your antioxidant. Again, it is, I mean, it's much more than that, but that's the kind of situation. It's the first sort of stage of the serums. This is suitable for all skin types, all skin conditions, all ages. Now, this one is a bit more specialized and is the one that was made exclusively for the kit, which will be going on general sale soon. This is Zellen's Power D. High potency pro vitamin D. Now this, you are going to find the most benefit from this if you have any of the following: eczema, psoriasis, a reddened face, like really bad, if you're couperose, if your cheeks are bright red, especially in the change in weather, if you flush easily, if you're a woman of a certain age, and that's not being sexist, men of a certain age aren't going through menopause, even though it's called men. If you have a skin barrier that is compromised in any way, if you really suffer from perioral dermatitis, which is the sort of red and the itchiness and the flakiness around the mouth, you will love this. If your skin feels tight, if it feels itchy, I would reach for this first out of everything else. This is like a cashmere blanket for your face. It is fortifying, it is strengthening. The D in this converts into vitamin D in your skin when it's triggered by daylight, sunlight. So there is no one that cannot use this, but there is a group of people who would prefer it, and you are definitely in the compromised skin barrier in any way, to be honest, in any way. People with acne will find that it takes the redness down and it helps to fortify the cell. It is hard to go wrong with this. So all skin types, suitable for pregnancy, suitable for breastfeeding, all skin conditions, but especially those that involve, so not so much, a skin type is what your parents gave you, i.e. your genes. You're prone to oiliness, you're prone to being dry, you have eczema that you've had since you were a child, for example. A skin condition is something that you've done to yourself, and that's not applying blame, it is just an after effect of your lifestyle. So a skin condition could be you take hormones, you're on medication, you are a smoker, you're a drinker, you take a contraception pill, you have the implant, you drink too much, you drink too much sugar, anything a skin condition can be called, I mean, a whole multitude of things. And I'm not saying they're your fault. I'm just saying that's the difference. The type is something that you can't necessarily change immediately. A skin condition is what you want to treat first. If you come into a facial room with me, I will look at your skin condition first. I will know your skin type and I can work accordingly, but I will go for the skin condition first, because a compromised barrier is no good to anyone. There is no point in going for just a normal run-of-the-mill facial. And I say that in the way that, not to dismiss a department store facial, for example, but if you have really bad, if your acid mantle is damaged, if your barrier feels rough, or you have, for example, if you have eczema or you've had dermatitis, don't go for a facial. You need to build it up. So I would go to a specialist facialist, so an individual person who will say, actually, this is what you need this product, let me do this, rather than a run-of-the-mill, like the one you would get in a spa, where everyone gets the same treatment. Does that make sense? So Power D is for everyone and every ailment. If your skin feels tight or dry, Power D. If you wake up and you've had a reaction to something, Power D. Moisturizer. There's two, but I've just put one in that you would use AM and PM, and that's the Murad Hydrodynamic Ultimate Moisture. Now this is, again, loaded with hyaluronic acid, so it sits perfectly with Hydraluron. You would put this on first and this on top. Again, all skin types. If you are really oily, you will find that you need a teeny amount of this, or that you want to only use it through the winter, and it will last. This is 6 months once you've taken the lid off. So it depends on where you live, your skin type, and the texture that you like. This is beautiful under makeup. I can't praise this enough. It is fragrance free. It is not going to give you any irritation. It will cause no further harm. That's the whole goal. And again, it works beautifully on top of Alpha H, on top of the Xelans, on top of the Hydraluron. And I will show you how to layer the serums in a sec. AM or PM, if you want to give the Oskia to your mum, or your mum needs this, or your dad, I'm not being sexist, or your kid, you can easily use both of these as your daytime moisturizer. I know this is aimed for bedtime, but they both work brilliantly. However, this is obviously much more about hyaluronic acid, keeping the skin plump, and a plump hydrated skin is your best line of defense after SPF. The two retinol products, now, the reason I put two in is because so many of you are newbies to retinol, and you're not so much scared, but maybe a bit hesitant and intimidated. This is a really easy place for you to start. Now, the Pixie Retinol Tonic is encapsulated retinol. It's not going to cause you any irritation. It's not going to cause any flakiness. You can use it AM or PM because it's micro-encapsulated, so it's time release basically. They mean the same thing. If you see time release and micro-encapsulated on packaging, they mean the same thing. It just means when you put it on, it will still be working hours later. So hence we say you can use this AM or PM. The bottle is coloured to protect the juice inside. It's filtered to protect the juice inside. So if you want to travel with this, you're perfectly fine. It doesn't need to be decanted into anything dark or anything like that. Don't worry. This is for you if you want to start mild. It's also for you if you already use a stronger retinol and you're having a break from it for a day, or you want to use something else at night time because your skin feels dry and you want a bit of a boost, hence the boost. Okay, so the Retinol Tonic is suitable for all skin types, all skin conditions, AM or PM. It is a really, really mild way to use a vitamin A product. Medicate, Crystal Retinol 3. Now, this is, for me, it sits in the middle. Like I said in the kit, Medicate are market leaders. They do, I can't even remember how many retinols they do. I'm sure it's like 10-ish, maybe more, maybe less. I do have a dedicated video that I did for this brand. It wasn't a sponsored video. They've had so many products, I had to put them all together in one video. So I can link that below. Okay, so Medicate Crystal Retinol 3. They make a milder one and they make two slightly stronger ones. So I felt that this was a good place to start. I would be happy using this, and I use a prescription retinol. This is slightly different. Retinol is closer to tretinoin, closer to retinoic acid. There's one less stage of conversion, which means it works up to 11 times faster than your average retinol, N-O-L. This is retinol, N-A-L. All skin types, all skin conditions, you will find the most benefit to using this if you are 30 to 35 plus. You've got signs of aging that you just want to help. You don't necessarily want to completely change your skin. That would be going to a clinic. What this will do is help stimulate your collagen production, helps to plump fine lines and wrinkles. And by the way, this is all proven technology. Like I've said in many a video, the 2 ingredients that the FDA in America say that you can legally claim to be anti-aging. So I can go on TV in the States and say, this is anti-aging. You can't do that because it is a protected sort of phrase, if you like. You have to have the proof. And vitamin A and SPF are proven to be anti-agers. So this is if you have signs of aging on your skin that you would rather were not there. It will also exfoliate your skin overnight. It's not an exfoliant like this. That is much more, this is a topical exfoliant. It works to make sure that your skin is smooth. Tell you what the difference is. This is like planing a desk. So you're sanding down a desk or a beautiful wooden table. You would do that with this surface, the sort of surface level, just to buff off that top layer so it's smooth. This has a little bit in it that will do that on the surface, but it works from underneath the skin because it pushes your skin to work quicker, if that makes sense. So this is much more what's going on inside your face. This is I'm just going to double check myself. I like to make sure. This is probably this is definitely the most active anti-ager in the group. That is not to say there's no best here. I've tried to pick the best of the best. But if your main concern is, right, I've just got this kit, I'm 40 to 50 plus, I look tired, what do I do? Right, you're going to wash your face with either or both of these. You're going to use this for a few days to get your skin really smooth and basically sand it down so that it's open to receiving. Nice. You can use everything else that's here, and then a few days or a week in, you will start with this. To acclimatize yourself, you're going to use it 2 to 3 times a week, and then you build up your tolerance. What I would say is, I can give you the good overview. Medicate have tons of information on their website. So if you are already using this and you love it and you've used it up and you want to move up to number 6, go and read their website. If you're already on one that you think is potentially stronger than this, go and read their website. This is top of the line for what I would say mid-strength, which is why I chose it. There is a sort of blanket ban in the industry of using vitamin A products topically while you are pregnant or breastfeeding. What I will say is I completely understand why brands put that caveat on their packaging. It makes good legal sense too. What I do say to people, and I say this for a good reason, if you find out that you are 8 weeks pregnant and you have been using a strong retinoid on your skin and you're starting to panic, please do not worry. You will be fine. I'm only saying this to you so that you don't panic. I'm not endorsing using a vitamin A product while you're pregnant. I am saying if you have done, you've just found out you're pregnant, please do not worry. It is much more about being extra safe than an absolute no-no, if that makes sense. And again, it's really hard to talk about it without sounding like I'm endorsing it. All I'm saying is everyone I know in the industry, no one changed their routines when they were pregnant. So there's also a blanket ban on salicylic acid, for example, because it's derived, most of them now are derived from willow bark, and there's a relationship to aspirin. I know derms who will happily keep doing a 30% salicylic acid peel on pregnant women because to them, the psychological effect of having bad skin is a much bigger threat to that woman's mental health and well-being than the danger of using a salicylic acid topically. Does that make sense? So I'm not saying use this in abundance if you're pregnant. I am saying if you find out you're pregnant, don't worry. I will happily answer any questions. If you want to send them to me privately, that's all good, but please don't worry. But again, in terms of age, if you're 20, do you need it? No, but you can use it. Like I say, I know derms in the States, they would have all their 20-year-old clients on a 1% prescription. We all think that's a bit much. I wouldn't do that. I'm not a derm, but there's no one excluded from using this in terms of age, skin type, skin conditions. You will find a way to incorporate, if you find a way to incorporate a good vitamin A product into your routine, your skin will thank you. Final one, Oskia Bedtime Beauty Boost. This is just, it says it all. It goes on last. You can use it every night if you want to. You can use it every other night. You can use it on top of retinol. If you're going to use them together, put this one on, leave it for a good 20 minutes, half an hour, and then you can put some of this on before you go to bed. This is almost like putting a cashmere scarf around the cashmere vest that you've already put on with the Zellens. There is a lot that you can mix and match. So I think it's possibly easier to say what you don't use together, because actually they can mostly be used together. So like I said, I wouldn't use this before this. I know some of you have already done it and love it. I think what will happen is it'll be great for maybe 2 or 3 days, and then your skin will start to be like, this is a bit much, calm down. Use this, get your skin nice and soft, really resurfaced, then start using this. If you already use an acid, you can immediately start using this in the evening. In terms of how things will sit on your skin, I personally, you're not going to layer all 3 serums. So Alpha H would go on first and would work well under the oil and then a moisturizer, or under Hydraluron and then under the moisturizer. If you tried to do all 3 of these and a moisturizer, it's just too much and too confusing. You don't really need all 3. If your skin feels okay and it's not particularly dry and you have a couple of breakouts and you're going to work, do Alpha H first. If you're dehydrated, you can do a little bit of Hydraluron and your Murad, and you're good to go. I've said in all the description boxes, I did not put an SPF in this kit because the SPF rules mean that I would not be able to ship to literally most of the world, because the EU is completely different from the USA, from the Far East, and from Australia, and I didn't want that on there. And you all have brilliant SPFs in your own territories. So assume that if I'm talking about day and I say, and that's where that ends, it means from this kit, you still need to apply your SPF. If your skin is dry and you're older and you think, oh, I don't like the feel and I just want to have a glow. If a glow is your mission, you're going to wash your face. You are definitely going to use some of this. You are then going to mist with Josh Rosebrook. You're then going to put your eye cream on. Then I would go straight with Power D and the Murad. Then you're going to get your glow. And after I'd done that, I would also spray some more Josh Rosebrook. I think I just wanted to make it clear that you can use literally everything, and more just tell you what not to mix together. I'm not for a second suggesting you will use all 12 products in a day. That is not what this is about. This is to give you the toolkit, if you like, to see you through potentially what you could come across. And although I've called it the winter kit, we sold quite a few to the Southern Hemisphere. So if you're going to use it in summer, you're going to use it exactly the same way. You're still going to need SPF because you're using your retinols and you'll need it anyway. You might find though that you lean more towards the Alpha H and the Hydraluron than the Zellens, but again, this will keep. So you might find that you've actually got enough here to last you 6 months to a year. Depends how often you use them, depends what you've already run out of, and it depends what you're going to open straight away. Please do hit me up with any questions below. Again, I didn't focus, but Oskia is completely suitable for all skin types, all ages, pregnancy, everything. The only one that has the sort of, you need to be careful if you're pregnant or breastfeeding, is the Medicate, and like I've said, they have loads of information on their website, so go and have a read of that. Everything else is pretty much for you. I've tried to make it as user-friendly as possible. So with the couple of exceptions I said, like if you've got really open, deep, active acne, going in with this, you'll find it's a bit much to remove because you have to take it off with a cloth, and that's going to knock the heads off and you're going to bleed. Japanfusion is much lighter and you can splash it. But otherwise, you're kind of good to go. So yeah, just to recap, the only 3 things really that you're looking at in terms of mixing and matching are your serums. And I kind of, my preference would be to do these 2 together and to do this one on its own, just because this is a powerhouse and is much more if you're feeling drier. And these 2 just work really nicely because this is super light, it's like water. This goes on top and it's also water based. You put your moisturizer on top and you've kind of made a moisture sandwich. I'm sure you will still have more questions, and I am fully here to try and answer as many as I can. Thank you again for buying the kit. The next one isn't going to be for months and months and months, so you can chill. And don't forget your SPF. Bye!